Hey, hello, Jack Tubbs from the J Team at Realty One in Surprise, Arizona, coming to you on this nice warm day in the Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, I wanted to talk to you today about wire fraud. It's becoming a more and more growing concern as we continue on with such automated and emails and all these other things that we use now in our industry, that people have had wire fraud perpetrated on them. And what exactly is wire fraud, you ask? Well, it's where you're getting ready to, you found the perfect house, you've gone through the inspections, you've gone through the negotiations, you've got everything, and we're ready to close. We're just about a week away from closing, and we're now setting up all the final documentation, the title work, the deed, and also we're working on how we're going to wire transfer money, or how we're going to take money into closing, whether it's a down payment or whether you're paying cash or whatever it is. And usually, and it used to be that most lenders and most title agents, most escrow agents wanted you to wire transfer because it was quick, it was easy, nobody had to handle a check. Once the wire was received by the escrow or title officer's bank, boom, they were able to give possession right away, that all the funds were verified, everything was ready to go. It also made the lender involved in the transaction, whoever the mortgage lender was going to be. Once they had verification of funds being transferred, knowing to the escrow or title officer, they knew that they were going to get certified funds sent to them ASAP. They were ready to close on the transaction. They were ready to go forth and start the mortgage, all that kind of stuff. Well, we ran into some problems here because we were emailing wire instructions back and forth and all these kinds of stuff. I would get, me being the buyer's agent, I would get wiring instructions from the title agent, and then I would email those wiring instructions to my buyer so that they could set up the wire, that they could go to their bank, set up the wire transfer to the account number and SWIFT code and everything that was included in the wiring instructions from the title or escrow officer. Well, in between there would be a nefarious agent there that would intercept that email. They would replace the wiring instructions to a different bank account, different SWIFT code, all these different things, so that when it made it to the buyer, they would set up the wire to go to the thief or the person who's perpetrating the wire fraud into their account. And then when they'd show up at closing, they'd say, hey, we had the money wired at 9 o'clock this morning. So you had like a 1 o'clock closing. It should be there. And the title or escrow officer would say, no, we haven't seen it. Well, let's check. And they do a check, and they'd find out that, all that money went to a different account. It went to a different routing number, SWIFT code, whatever. It didn't make it to our account. And only about 50% of the time were they be able to recover that money, because usually as soon as that money hit the bank account that the thief, the wire fraud perpetrator had set up, they'd withdraw it immediately, move it, and then they'd move it again, and they'd move it again. They probably would move 3 or 4 times within about a 6-hour period, so that it was almost untraceable. Well, needless to say, this has happened many times. I've only seen it. It's never happened to me, but in an office I was managing back in Michigan, I saw it perpetrated twice. Once was for about $18,000, was towards a down payment for a home, and the other one was almost $138,000, which was a down payment for a home. They got both of them back. Lo and behold, they were very lucky because it was caught right away. But I heard, speaking with some of the title people I dealt with and the escrow people that I work with, I've heard up to almost $700,000 be a cash payment for a home, gone, never to be recovered. So I want to alert you about wire fraud, especially since there are so many buyers out there right now, especially in the Valley, but all across the country, that you follow these just a couple of really simple steps. If you have a really good agent, they're going to tell you, I don't want to have any communication with you about how to set up a wire, how you're going to have a check made out, anything as far as closing funds go. You call the title company, this is the person that you call. You call the escrow company, this is the person that you call. They will verbally give you instructions on who to make a check out to, how to set up the wiring, how to set up the wire, the funds transfer wire, They will tell you, and it'll be verbal. There will be no email. There'll be nothing written. There'll be nothing mailed. There'll be nothing, and you will only talk to the person. I don't care if the lady at the front desk says, "Oh, well, I can help." No, you tell. I want to talk to the person that is going to close my transaction. Talk to them and them alone. Be insistent upon it. There's no exceptions in this, because the last thing you want to do is take $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 and give the wrong instructions and have your money end up in the hands of thieves. So wire fraud has become a huge thing. It's become a billion-dollar industry, or a billion-dollar crime spree throughout the United States, let alone who knows what it is in the world. Now, there's another way you can avoid this, especially if you don't want to do a wire transfer, is get a cashier's check from your bank. But once again, you talk to the escrow officer, the title officer that's going to close your transaction. You get the check made out in the amount that they tell you to, and you get it made out to whoever they tell you to get it made out to. And it's usually going to be the name of the title company. If it's going to be Masterbuilt Title, it's going to be made out to Masterbuilt Title. If it's going to be Freedom Escrow, it's going to be made out to Freedom Escrow, whatever. But talk to the officer, no exceptions. Don't talk to the person at the front desk. Don't talk to anybody but the person who's going to handle your account. Nothing is done by email. Zero, zip, nada. Nothing is done with email as far as the funds transfers for closing instructions. No, there's just no. If you're funding a transaction, it's done verbally only, or you can even walk into the office that you're going to close at, to the title office or escrow office, and talk to the person there personally and get the instructions from them only. And do not do anything by email. Do not send any letters. Do not send anything out of mail, period. It is done verbally, face-to-face, or you can bring a check in. But once again, call, talk to the escrow officer, the title officer. Make sure you get the proper the recipient, put on the check. Make sure it's spelled correctly. Make sure it's for the correct amount. And you should be able to verify that through your real estate agent and through your loan officer. They should all have the same amount. It should match exactly all the way through when we're ready to close. So wire fraud is on the rise. It jumped up almost 80%. It's in the first quarter of 2020. So, and it's past a third of all transactions have been subject to some sort of wire fraud throughout the United States. So protect yourself. You just don't discuss how you're going to move funds, wire transfers, anything with your agent, just with the person at the title or escrow office that you're going to close at. That's it, period. Nobody else. You don't want to have anybody else involved in this process except the person who's going to receive the funds and you and your bank who are going to share the funds. That's it. That's the way it should work. And now, on the lighter side of the news, just to let you know, rates took another little itty-bitty drop. We're down to about 2.94% for those people who have got 30-year fixed rates, who once again have like 720 plus had credit scores, great debt to income ratio, verified income, etc. There are still some great rates out there for people, and we see the mortgage rates drop a little bit, which only means that this absolutely wild, healthy, vibrant real estate market that we have going on across the United States is just going to continue to get as hotter and hotter as it continues to grow. So that's what I've got to leave you with today. This is Jack Tubbs from the J Team at Realty One in Surprise, Arizona. If I can help you answer any more questions, if I can guide you on how to make sure that you avoid wire fraud, please don't hesitate to call. You can get a hold of me at 248-330-7972. That's 248-330-7972. Or you can email me. And just remember, we're not going to include any account numbers or anything like that on this email. jack@theJteam.house, and that's JACK @THE, the letter J, the word team.house. Or you can call the office, talk to any of my team members at 623-252-4061. At 623-252-4061. 4061. This is Jack Tubbs with the J Team and Realty One in Surprise, Arizona, wishing you a fantastic weekend. Congratulations, you made it. It's time to spend some time with friends and family, relax, and take a break. Get ready for the work week that's coming up next week. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll be back Monday with more about what's going on in the Phoenix real estate market.